dedicated to horror, scary stories, scary videos, and all things creepy. Subscribe, like, share the darkness.
So 2011, 2012, I was looking for an apartment to move out on my own. I had a one bedroom plus den apartment in the back basement, and in the front there was a bachelor apartment with an older gentleman there. Upstairs lived a family of three. Their son was probably about 9 years old, and husband and wife. So as I was moving in, I was running out every now and then to get a few things. I remember placing a remote for my stereo, which had not been unpacked yet, and I placed it on a coffee table that I had just bought and just put together. I left my house. Upon return, I didn't think nothing of it, didn't notice that this remote had been moved. I was sitting on my couch, and all of a sudden I looked down and I noticed that my remote's not where it was. It's over on the entertainment center where my TV had been unpacked and set up. Found it kind of odd. Kind of dismissed it. I didn't think much of it. Went on about my life. Skip ahead maybe a few weeks to a month later, laying in my bed. And I had one of those projection clocks that projects up to the ceiling. And for some reason I had it flipped upside down. So I was reading the numbers upside down. And I remember laying in my bed looking up, and it was 11:34 at night. And I'll never forget this number, and I see it quite often since then. The number upside down, as you can imagine, spells hell. So I was like, that's kind of weird. I've never noticed that before. We used to play with our calculators back in the day and kind of, do funny words and whatnot. So I laid there in bed on my back. I closed my eyes again. To my left was the door. So my bed's facing this way. My door's on the far left of the wall. And all of a sudden, when you kind of have your eyes closed and a light, like say you look at the sun, your eyes go really, 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 really bright and you feel that glow, that orange glow. Well, this was happening. And I had not fallen asleep yet. I just got into bed, maybe 15 minutes max. Anyway, I opened my eyes and the light coming out from my bedroom door was phenomenal. Like, I couldn't even imagine what this was. I sat up because I was kind of in disbelief. I closed my eyes again. I opened them again. Nothing had changed. And within seconds, it was like I can't describe it. It was like a light just kind of dimmed into like a small ball of nothing and just disappeared, and I was in darkness again, like normal light you would get from your window. After some time, I guess probably months, I was laying in bed. Again, I look up at the ceiling. I see 11:33. I know what's coming around the corner. 11:34. 11:34 hits. I'm just staring at the ceiling. I'm staring at this time. I'm waiting for 11:35. So as I'm staring at the ceiling, I see hell in red, which is the projection light was red. I hear footsteps on laminate floor. It was like the tapping of flesh on the laminate flooring. And it was walking around the living room. It kind of went off into the distance. It came back. It came in around my bed. Left again. I sat up. I kind of listened for a bit. I didn't hear anything. I went back to sleep. Or I went to sleep, sorry. Skip ahead maybe a week or two. So it's starting to kind of happen more frequent, I find. I'm laying in bed and I hear breathing. I'm laying on my back and I reach out with both my hands across the bed to feel, is it beyond my hands, or whatever this is I'm hearing? Is it in the bed, or is it, in the wall? What is this? Definitely breathing. I'm convinced of that. It seemed to be on my right on the floor below my bed. Next day I go to work and I start telling these stories to people, and some people are like, wow, that's pretty crazy, and some are like, I would never come to your house. You're insane. I think it was in October. I was going to go meet my sister and her family down in Florida for a 2 weeks vacation to go spend some time with my nieces. So I had went out and I had bought a very large suitcase, very cheap, $35, thing I can use one time. I went down with it empty. I came back filled up with goodies. When I put that next to my bed on the right, this breathing thing that had happened more than once stopped completely. I went on my trip. I came back. Everything was fine. I had a friend over at my house, my apartment rather, and this one day I was getting ready and I was in brushing my teeth, and there was this room that I had my computer in, which was about, I'm going to say, about 10 feet from my door on the right. And right inside that room I had my computer desk, and there was like a linen thing and some other useless junk. Anyway, this person was sitting in that room. I was in my bathroom, like I said, about 15 feet away from that person, and I was brushing my teeth. And as I rinsed my mouth, I went to wipe it off on the towel to my right. I just kind of did one of these. But there was a girl leaning against the door frame of my door. And when I did that double take, I looked again. I immediately walked out that door and right to that room where that person was. And I'm like, were you just out here like watching me brush my teeth? They're like, no, I've been here the whole time, like surfing the internet. I'm like, that's weird. So I got the person to come back, stand by the door, lean there, and just stay there. I told this person, and I kind of mimicked what I had done, and this person was clearly taller than what I had seen by, I'm going to say, about 6 inches maybe. That was probably one of the last times I saw anything, and I'm not quite sure how long after. I would say about 6 months to 8 months I moved out of that place. I would never, ever, ever tell the owners upstairs of the things I saw, heard, and witnessed, because they were very religious, and I was scared they were going to sell that house and I'd be out of an apartment. So, those stories always stay with me, and 11:34, whether it's AM or PM, I see it very, very often, and I don't know what the significance is,